Namaste, beautiful humans, and good morning. It is a Sunday. I don't even know what date it is. 6th, 7th, 8th, I don't know, beginning of February. Anywho, got the 28-inch Deluxe Ariens snowblower out, and this is third year on this thing, and I thought I'd go over it real quick with you, let you know how it's done for me for 3 years, let you know what it looks like, and show you some things on it, you know, where it's rusting and what's going on. Now, I run this thing on a gravel driveway, gang, and I'll show you this driveway here. So yeah, you know, it's a few 100-foot of gravel driveway, and of course the gravel's beaded up, so you can see here in the chute what that looks like. I also want to share a couple tips and tricks with you real quick. I'll throw them in toward the end of the video, I guess, try and keep you hanging in there. But honestly, hit that like button, smash the like button. If you get a second, smash that like button. That makes it go further, farther, faster, and helps out the channel a ton. If you want, please also subscribe. That's entirely up to you. Don't subscribe if you ain't gonna watch the videos. So that being said, this thing has done great for 3 years. It's got the electric start on there. I've had to use it, none, never used it. Tried it, it works. You know, plugged it in and tried it one day just for the heck of it. But I've never needed to use it. It's done fine from a pull start. Matter of fact, most times it'll start on one pull. Today it's a little bit snowy. We had a couple inches last night, nothing major, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean the driveway off here in a few minutes, and I'll take it out there and fire it up for you. You'll see it'll probably fire up on the first one. Trouble that I've had with it, I really haven't had any issues. There's a couple times when I'll go to take it and put it in a different gear, and it'll act like it's kind of jammed, but I think that's just a little linkage deal there. It just sort of wiggles its way into being jammed a little bit. But you shake it and jiggle it a couple times, and it generally goes in just fine. I've never had to, you know, take a tool to it to get it out of gear or anything like that. Just a matter of finagling it there for a few minutes. As far as walking straight, this thing pulls and goes straight as an arrow. It never gives me any trouble. Even if I've got deep snow on one side and say shallow snow on the other side, it doesn't really pull into that deep snow real hard unless you get really, you know, far into it, then it'll want to pull. But for the most part, this thing goes straight. When you've got everything engaged, when you've got these tongs engaged, and when you've got the gears engaged and you're going forward, you can let your thrower lever go. And with that, you can keep, as long as you don't let it out of gear, that'll stay engaged. So I can actually let go, which in time, there's some times when the wind's blowing that snow back at me, you know, I'll want to step away from the machine. So I'll just have one hand on it and walk away where the snow's not blowing in my face and off to the side of it, and let it go like that. And it does fine. It doesn't, you know, wear me out or want to pull me one way or another. So for that, it does really well. Other things, let's see. I've done the oil change, 2 oil changes so far. It's on its 3rd winter, so after this winter, we'll get another oil change. What else have I had that I've had to deal with this thing? You know, that's honestly it, gang. I'm just gonna say it's a good machine. It's done exactly what it's supposed to have done so far. It's started every time. Now there is a couple things I'll tell you that I do, and it just, I don't know if you would call it tips or tricks or what, but I will tell you this. I screwed up one time, got in a hurry, put this thing away. And I generally go through there and, standing on it. I generally go through there and clean this out in here real well. But, you know, we get in a hurry sometimes and don't think about it or don't do it. And mind you, I keep it out of the snow, I keep it out of the weather, but I keep it in my garage. The garage isn't heated, so anything in this garage can, and sometimes freezes. So I've come out here before, I've done this twice, I'm not gonna lie about it, but now I've learned my lesson. I don't do it any longer. I always check first before I fire it up. But what I did was forgot to clean this out real good under here, and now before I go to run it, I've gotten the habit, I'll come in here and I'll turn these blades and make sure they don't get stuck. Because I went to start it and broke my bolts on there, the breakaway bolts, which takes me to tip number 2. So always make sure that's cleaned out, chiseled out, whatever you got to do to get that ice out of there if you got ice in there, so it starts up and starts moving right off the get-go. Tip number 2, these bolts right here, these breakaway bolts. If you just bought a machine, buy another, but you get 2 of these with the machine. I don't know about you, if you got a gravel driveway, certainly if you got a gravel driveway, and if you've got trees over your driveway, then you're going to want to get some of these, get an extra pack. I bought, I think, a pack of 5 or 10 online. It wasn't all that much. Just make sure you measure and make sure that your notch is correct, and that on it is where it's supposed to be. Definitely order a couple of those. That's another tip. Order a pack of those so you got some extra, yeah? And then the final tip I want to give you is, before you're going to get a snow, if you've got, even if it's concrete driveway, if you've got trees hanging over top of your driveway, before the snow comes and you know you're going to get a snow, walk your driveway. Go out there and pick up every limb, every rock that's sticking up a little bit high, anything that might catch on this machine that you won't see after the snow. Because sure enough, if you don't, you're going to catch something. And again, go to having to replace another bolt. So that's another thing I've done, is I've gotten the habit of, if I know it's going to storm, and it does, life happens, so you don't always have time to do this, but when I do, I try to go out here and make sure I get everything up off my driveway before the snow comes. So that way I'm not out there and then all of a sudden I hit something, or maybe I might send my wife out there, she might be doing it. I don't send my wife out there. She might decide she wants to help and go out and do it. And I don't have to worry about her running over anything, yeah? So that's about it for me, gang. Just a short video, just letting you know how this thing's doing so far. It's doing absolutely great. Just what I expected it to do. Ariens is a good product. And yeah, proud to have it. It's a good machine. Done me well. 3 years running so far. We're doing good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, hit that like and subscribe, guys. I'm going to go out here, fire this thing up, and go ahead and start off through there. I got about 3 inches, 4 inches of snow. So you're welcome to watch that if you want. We'll get it fired up and going, yeah? Much love and respect. We will see you on the next one.